the NBA Daily Fantasy Sports Podcast, as well as for sports betting, and we will have a free college basketball pick also. Brought to you by OffshoreInsiders.com, www.offshoreinsiders.com. And it would be an understatement to say we literally have breaking news. Joe Duffy, America's greatest sports handicapper, 19-5-2 with NBA Games of the Year going back to the Score Phone days. The 2016 NBA Game of the Year goes tonight among two Wise Guy plays plus four major plays in hoops. College and the NBA. This is the biggest portfolio in many, many months by any handicapper anywhere. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com, www.offshoreinsiders.com. All right, here we go for both bettors and for Dallas daily fantasy players. Now remember, net rating is the difference between offensive and defensive ratings, points per 100 possessions, okay? Points per 100 possessions, the net points per 100 possessions that each team gets. The Spurs and the Magic, 76% of spread bets on this game are on San Antonio, with 85% of the public on the over. The total is the biggest consensus bet at press time. San Antonio is the top team in the NBA in terms of margin of cover, aka sweat barometer. They are 34-18 against the spread, covering by an average of 4 points per game this season. The Kings and the Sixers, something has to give. Sacramento minus 7.4 net rating the last five, though Phillies is even worse at minus 10. Sacramento is the number 2 over team based on margin, going over by 3.1 points per game. Yet they've only actually gone over 26, 25, and 1 for the season. And again, at the risk of stating the obvious, what that means is the games that have gone under for the most part have barely gone under, but the games that have gone over by pretty wide margins. And that is the entire purpose. It really measures the reliability of both spread records or over-under records. Are they truly a covering machine, or have they had good fortune, etc.? That's why people use the margin of cover or sweat barometer, as some people like to call it. Memphis and Brooklyn. Memphis is without Marc Gasol, who is averaging 16.6 points per game and 7 rebounds. LA Clippers and Boston. The Clippers are minus star center Blake Griffin. Clippers, though, are 14-7 against the spread without him. He is averaging 23.2 points per game and 8.7 boards. LA still has the third best net rating in the NBA in that span at plus 10 points per game. The Lakers and Cavaliers, the Lake Show has gone under by an average of 2.9 points per game, the largest under ratio in the NBA. Don't forget the power of 620 sports services behind each and every pick is from the Master Lock Line, and it is 100% exclusive at offshoreinsiders.com. Yep, those of you of a certain age, you remember going back to 1980 on the Score Phone days as the Lock Line. It was called then the old 976 Lock Line. Jazz and the Pelicans for New Orleans. Tariq Evans is out. New Orleans is 7-10 in the back pocket when he is missed. He's averaging 15.2 points per game and 6.7 dimes. Raptors and Timberwolves. Toronto is the top public bet with 83% of all spread wagers on them in this contest. Hawks and Bulls. The Bulls' often injured star Derrick Rose will likely play, but Jimmy Butler's out. The Butler has done it, getting 22.4 points per game, 5.2 boards, 4.3 assists. The Bulls have the fourth worst net rating in their last 5 games at minus 7.8. Again, that is ranks as the fourth worst in the NBA during that span. The Warriors and the Suns. Phoenix is without Brandon Knight and Eric Bledsoe. They're 1-4 without Knight against the spread. He averages 19.7 points and 5.1 assists. They're 7-14 spread-wise since losing Bledsoe for the season. Now, this is literally a match between the team with the best net rating over the last 10 games against the team with the worst. Phoenix minus 14.3 to plus 18.4 for Golden State. Phoenix is the worst spread team in the league at 20-33, missing by an average of 3.4 points per game. Again, commonly known now as the sweat barometer. Golden State has gone over 30-21 by 4.9 points per game this year. That is by far the league high ratio for overs. Rockets and the Blazers. Houston is second worst bet in the NBA at 23-31, missing covering by minus 3.3 points per game against the spread. We do have a free winning pick for tonight from Joe Duffy's Picks. the center of the handicapping universe. At offshoreinsiders.com, we're going to go with LSU plus the 4.5 against South Carolina. Nice sandwich game. USC is off of the big upset at Texas A&M, and now they look ahead to a huge game against Kentucky in just 3 days. Ben Simmons and LSU, they're starting to pick up some momentum with 3 conference road wins. Simmons may be showing some signs of living up to the hype. I know he hasn't really been all that great with the game on the line, but of course he's got a little bit of a cushion here. And remember, freshmen, 2 things that freshmen do. They play, as a general rule of thumb, it's not etched in stone, but as a pretty reliable handicapping rule of thumb for sure, they play better as the year goes on, especially on the road. Well, folks, we're into February. We're into the home stretch. One of the best freshmen, most hyped freshmen in a long time, playing better on the road and playing better as this season goes on. So LSU is your free pick. Yes, Joe Duffy's picks has bar none the single strongest play in the handicapping industry this year in the NBA, but don't forget Stevie Vincent. Perfect play, plus a level 5 collegiate and a level 4 collegiate bet as well. Stevie hit his only play on Wichita State last night. The great one, Stevie Vincent, with that perfect play in pro basketball among 3 splendid winning selections. Another level 5 on the collegiate hardwood, plus a level 4 on the college hardwood as well. All his plays exclusively on offshoreinsiders.com, www.offshoreinsiders.com.